Whether it's scams, comment bots, terrible sponsors, or even terrible creators, let's face it, YouTube has a plethora of problems. This video is a compilation of every video I've made talking about YouTube's problems. So sit down, grab some snacks, and I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe. If you noticed recently, YouTube has been making some very controversial decisions within the community, and the platform itself seems to just be getting worse in general. I mean, I remember a time when YouTube was just a simple place to watch funny comedy skits and music videos, but now it feels like with some of the things that Google is doing with YouTube, they've essentially just turned it into one of their money-making machines. So in this video, I want to go over 5 reasons as to why YouTube might be killing their own platform. So first of all, let's talk about Shorts. YouTube's introduction of the Shorts feature, similar to TikTok, has become immensely popular. However, instead of doing something new, they instead chose to write off the success of TikTok by simply copying it and putting it on YouTube. YouTube used to be a platform with actually decent content, but now it has become this addictive dopamine scrolling mess. Now, Shorts are fine in it themselves, it's just the addictive nature of them is so terrible. I mean, sometimes I accidentally click on a short and end up scrolling for hours, just effectively wasting my time. Furthermore, prioritization of Shorts in users' feeds has raised concerns about the diversity of content. Whenever I'm scrolling through YouTube, I'm bombarded with Shorts everywhere I go. Even if I search something, the first results are Shorts, and it's not the creators' fault for making these Shorts. It's YouTube's fault for pushing these Shorts as much as they can to squeeze every penny they can out of their creators. I would have preferred if Shorts were like YouTube Stories, short, less than 60 seconds long clips that creators can use to update their fans on what's happening. These Shorts would only be available to watch in the subscription section of YouTube, so people aren't constantly bombarded by Shorts everywhere they go. And let's not forget how YouTube is treating their creators. As you all know, Sniper Wolf, a YouTuber that YouTube has supported many times and has been given many awards, YouTube seems to forget that the only reason that she's become famous is because of her reaction content, quote unquote, in which she barely reacts to people's content and never credits any of the creators. Now, YouTube hadn't taken any action against her, even when she went to Jack's Film, another creator's house, and doxed her. And YouTube's response to this on Twitter, X, was so dumb. Confirming Sniper Wolf has received a temporary monetization suspension per creator responsibility policies. Off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at risk harm our community, and the behavior on both sides isn't what we want on YouTube. Hoping everyone helps it move this convo to a better place. Like, bro, what do you mean both sides? Jack's Films was just criticizing her content. What, like, Sniper Wolf doxed her, bro? That's literally illegal. And I mean, it's obvious that YouTube doesn't care about their creators and is playing favorites when it comes to their platform. Instead of taking serious threats off their platform, they're doing useless things like adding useless features and disabling ad blockers. Speaking of which, YouTube's decision to disable ad blockers has been met with frustration from some users. While ads are a primary source of revenue for content creators, many viewers prefer ad-free experiences. Disabling ad blockers without providing alternative options has led to criticism and may contribute to a decline in user satisfaction. I feel like the only reason people used ad blockers was to get rid of those terrible ads that YouTube serves to their viewers. Most of them are straight up malicious ads that lead you to some type of scam. For example, you've probably seen those MrBeast ads that advertise you could win $1,000 when it's just leads to a scam website that can sometimes be malware, or some ads that just straight up break YouTube's terms of service. The whole point of using an ad blocker is so that you can browse the web safely, not just on YouTube. I hate ads, and I know you watching this video do too. If you go on the r/YouTube subreddit right now, literally everyone is bashing on YouTube disabling ad blockers, and I know that paying the price for YouTube Premium is not a good solution. After all, it is almost the same monthly cost for Netflix, and the extra perks that come with it are absolutely useless. To strike a balance, YouTube could consider offering a premium, ad-free subscriptions or alternative ways for users to support creators without relying solely on traditional ads. Providing more flexibility in ad viewing options can improve user satisfaction and maintain a healthy revenue stream for creators. How about whenever someone buys a membership for a creator who they want to support, they get an ad-free experience across their whole channel. This way, the viewer gets to support a creator who they really like and can also watch their videos ad-free. Next, I want to briefly talk about the comment section on YouTube. If you've ever looked at the comment section of a video, you've most likely encountered impersonation bots, fraudulent giveaway scams, and other misleading links or content. Comment section, while being one of the most integral parts of YouTube, feels like a cluttered mess to sort through. And I know how this must feel for bigger creators. Not only that, that, but the content moderation in the comment section is just straight up stupid. Creators can filter the types of comments that people leave on their videos, which can heavily mislead viewers. If I search up Spotify Premium for free on YouTube and click on the first video, I can scroll down to the comment section, which only has 21 comments, despite the video itself having 122,000 views. And when you look at the comments themselves, you'll see that they'll all say something along the lines of, "Oh, this works," or "nice video," or something like that. So not only that, but I was recommended a video called Top 10 Features of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. The thumbnail caught my eye because it was literally MKBHD, this thumbnail with some text at the top. I mean, you can literally see his face. I clicked on the video and it was literally an AI voice talking over some images.
Top 10 features of iPhone 15 Pro Max. 1. USB-C. Finally time.
It was so lazy that I literally commented on how lazy it was. But by signing into a different account, I realized that the comment was filtered out or it was deleted by the creator. I wasn't trying to spread negativity, so on another video, I commented "good video" or something like that, to which the creator replied "thanks." By letting creators filter out what comments can be shown on their videos, this allows many types of scam content to thrive on the platform. Lastly, the algorithm is super weird. This video of mine didn't do well at first, but then a couple of days later, it blew up, gaining 2,000 views in a day. Of course, with this growth, I was expecting the video to grow even more, but I woke up the next day to realize that the video had hit 0 views, which makes no sense because why would YouTube push the video in the first place only to immediately kill it after? It makes no sense because the video had a 7% click-through rate, which is higher than my 5% average, and a 50% average view duration. My friend Moyo claimed that it had exhausted its potential audience, but that theory also makes no sense because it clearly reached viewers outside of my scope of around 400 subscribers, and this issue raises concerns about the platform's responsibility in creating a healthy and diverse content ecosystem. Zachary Smigel talks a lot about this in the video on screen, but while browsing YouTube, I sometimes come across a video from a smaller channel, and I'm all for YouTube pushing content from smaller channels. Thing is that I have no interest in that type of content whatsoever. So why am I getting pushed a video that I have no interest in when there's a potential audience of thousands of people that would enjoy that content?
You're probably gonna fail. You're probably not gonna get very far. Even if you're making the best content the world's ever seen, you're producing nothing but genuine masterpieces, there's still a great chance no one ever finds them. You're competing with millions upon millions of other people doing the exact same shit of every second of every day. You have so much shit going on around you, so much other content. Internet creation is so saturated, it takes nothing but pure luck to stand out.
And as a creator myself, I agree with Moist Critical here, that YouTube is a very, very competitive space. And even for me, getting 100 views on a video feels like an accomplishment. Sometimes I spend weeks researching and editing the perfect video only for it to be the worst video that ever performed on my channel. With how saturated the content on YouTube is, sometimes some of my best videos never get seen. I think that the algorithm should favor all creators, big and small, because at the end of the day, YouTube is a place where hours of content is uploaded every single minute.
In conclusion, while YouTube remains a popular platform for content consumption, it is facing challenges that impact its overall user experience and content quality. The rise of shorts, content moderation, controversies, disabling ad blockers, algorithmic recommendations, and monetization challenges are some of the factors contributed to concerns about the platform's direction. As YouTube continues to evolve, it is crucial for the company to address these issues and find a balance between innovation and maintaining a healthy ecosystem. YouTube isn't going anywhere, but YouTube shouldn't focus on their creators and their viewers rather than just about making money. By considering user feedback, refining moderation practices, and exploring alternative revenue models, YouTube can work towards creating an inclusive and sustainable platform that caters to the diverse needs and preferences of its users and creators. So with the rise of artificial intelligence and tools like ChatGPT and others, there's this new trend, AI-generated shorts. These short videos are created entirely by AI and they're getting a lot of attention. You've probably seen them with those Andrew Tate podcast clips with that bouncy text effect and sometimes that GTA gameplay on the bottom if your short attention span needs some kind of stimulation. Now with the increase in popularity of these shorts, some channels claim that you can easily make hundreds, even thousands of dollars just by creating these videos. But let's get real. How much truth is there to these claims? Well, in this video, we're gonna deep dive into the world of AI-generated shorts and try to expose the biggest scam on YouTube.
Social media accounts have generated over 10K passive income this channel. With the rise of AI, I generate those channels. So today I'm going to show us the channel that
At first, the idea of making money by creating AI-generated shorts seems pretty enticing. I mean, who wouldn't want to earn passive income without doing any work? These enticing videos can attract thousands, maybe even millions of views, and they're usually short, visually appealing, and are designed to trick you into thinking that making money with YouTube shorts is very easy and requires no work. These channels that promote AI-generated shorts make some bold claims about the earning potential. They promise that if you follow their methods and use tools like ChatGPT, you can easily monetize your YouTube channel in a short period of time. Some even brag about how much money they're making across their different channels. These channels only have a couple of videos, yet they make some bold claims like,
My faceless social media accounts have generated over 10K in passive income this month.
Now, as tempting as those promises may sound, I think it's important to take a closer look at the reality of AI-generated shorts on YouTube. The truth is, while a few creators may have hit the jackpot, most don't experience the same level of financial gain. Those success stories are more like exceptions than the norm, so it's crucial to approach these claims with a healthy dose of skepticism and consider the bigger picture. If you watch my previous video, please do, then you know that a small portion of YouTube relies on luck, but a huge portion also relies on making good videos. I'm gonna keep saying this throughout the video, and that's like on YouTube, quality is much more important than quantity. I can make 100 low effort videos that no one would watch, or I can make a couple good videos that people would genuinely enjoy watching and would gain a lot of views. To really grasp the potential impact of AI generated shorts, we gotta understand the platform's algorithm. YouTube's algorithm decides which videos get recommended to users based on stuff like watch time, engagement, and relevance. Sure, you can make tons of AI generated shorts with the help of ChatGPT, but that doesn't mean that those shorts will be good. Shorts are supposed to keep viewers engaged, but if you're not putting any effort to engage the viewer, then the video won't do so well. So the bigger question is whether AI generated shorts can consistently meet that criteria. Actually, you know, maybe I'm bashing on these channels too much. Let's watch I made 100 viral YouTube shorts in 10 minutes tutorial by Digital Income Project.
YouTube Shorts channels are cashing out. This channel, for example, has hundreds of millions of views and is making thousands of dollars every month.
Okay, wait. That's an estimate, you know that, right? Just because I pulled his channel off of Social Blade, oh my god guys, he's making $1 million every month. That's an estimate. Like, I can go on my channel right now and it says I'm making some money even though my channel isn't monetized at all. It's making estimates from data
on autopilot. And the best part is, all of their content is made by AI, meaning whoever owns this channel doesn't have to show their face, and the video scripts, edits, and titles are all entirely generated by artificial intelligence. I'll show you an example of one of their.
You know what's ironic is you're also using an AI voice. At least use a human voice if you want it to look like genuine, but nah, you're just sticking to the theme by you also using an AI voice.
Most viral videos. But before you judge, just remember how much money they're making from this.
Oh yeah, no, I just couldn't forget how much money they're making. They're making that sweet $50,000 a month. Yeah, no, I just couldn't forget about that.
I can say this confidently because I've personally made thousands of dollars from my own YouTube Shorts channel that only has about 1/10 of the total number of views that this channel has. Today, I'll be showing you how to recreate 100 of these viral YouTube Shorts using just 3 tools in less than 12 minutes. That way, you can replicate this entire operation and achieve similar results.
I am on the edge of my seat here. I cannot wait to make $50,000 a month. You know, I wonder if it was so easy to make money with this way, then wouldn't everyone be millionaires? Like, come on, bro.
With that, let's dive in. Step 1. The first tool we're going to use is ChatGPT.
Okay, I'm just going to speed through all of this because it's not important at all. Basically, what he does is he just gives the AI a title and then asks the AI to give 3 points for that title based on a certain topic. So once he has that, he has a title and 3 points, and then he puts everything in an Excel sheet, and then yeah.
But before you move on to step 3, we need to understand a little bit more about the YouTube Shorts algorithm. As I mentioned earlier, the most important metric is watch time. So I'm going to show you a few ways that we can actually trick the algorithm into giving us more watch time.
That is quite literally the funniest thing I've heard all day. Man, bro is about to trick the algorithm into giving him more watch time. Dude, bro is literally a magician. Like, I didn't even know you could do that. You know, how do you trick the algorithm into giving you more watch time? I'm a bit confused, but you know, I'm on the edge of my seat here. You know.
The first way to do this is to get more comments. When someone comments on a YouTube short, the video continues to play in the background. That signals that our average view duration is top G. You can get more people to comment by writing a question in the caption or including a point that is so outrageous that people will add funny, opinionated comments. Let's be honest, we've all argued with someone in the comment sections or scrolled through looking for other funny comments.
Okay, one thing I have to say though, the editing on this video is like you would put it's quite top G, but I think the Spiffing Brit, he made a video about this like a little back where he essentially just uploaded a 1 second, you know, blank clip of a black screen, and basically he put it on YouTube Shorts. And what would happen is, because people would kind of like, they wouldn't think it's a video, so they would like play it multiple times, and that would get him a lot of watch time, but that didn't really affect like the outcome, like the stat, like how well the video did. Sure, like the stats were up like super high, but I don't think that's like the only factor that goes into making a video viral.
And if you're able to get these to happen on your video, now those comments are actually going to start helping your average view duration and organically boost your content further within the algorithm. So make sure to keep that in mind as we move on to step 3. Now,
okay, I'm not going to show you this either. All he's doing is he goes into Canva and then puts like a background and then puts like a bunch of text on the screen and then connects all the data points and then copy pastes the entire Excel spreadsheet. And yeah, he copy pastes it a bunch of times, just changing the background each time, and then boom, he makes like 100 shorts. Yeah, and he also puts like music in the background, you know. Yeah, that's about it.
It's also important to note that the YouTube Shorts algorithm is very different from other social media platforms.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that for the rest of the video, he talks about like other social media platforms like Instagram, as if that's remotely even related to this video. So yeah, what did I learn from this video? That you can make a bunch of shorts with AI, but that doesn't mean they're gonna be good shorts. Like when I'm scrolling on YouTube Shorts, I need something to give me dopamine. I need some stimulation. When I see a picture with a bunch of text on it, I am not going to be stimulated, and therefore I'm going to click off. Like, I think that's just common sense here, and I think this comment sums it up pretty nicely. Let's hope everybody who watches this video creates 1,000 YouTube shorts per day. In 365 days, we can expect 365 times 1,000 times 10,000 new videos for YouTube. That's approximately 36.5 trillion videos of absolute garbage content. Cheers! So, in conclusion, the rise of AI-generated shorts on YouTube has sparked both excitement and skepticism. Some channels claim that you can make lots of money by creating these videos, but the reality is much more nuanced. While a select few may achieve significant financial success, most creators will probably face challenges in generating substantial income solely through AI-generated shorts. So, it's important to approach these claims with an open mindset and consider the broader implications for content creation, as well as the ethical concerns surrounding this emerging trend. And as YouTube keeps evolving, creators need to find the sweet spot between using AI technology and preserving the authenticity that makes their content unique. See, I use AI as a tool, and that's perfectly fine, but ultimately, it's the combination of human ingenuity and technological advancement that will help shape the future of content on YouTube and beyond. Hey my fellow Ice Cubes, so if you've been on YouTube in the past few weeks, you've most likely come across these playables in your home feed. And for those of you that haven't seen them, they're basically cloud games that you can play directly within YouTube. And now, like any normal person would react, I was pretty confused because this was very weird and out of place. I mean, last time I checked, YouTube is a website for videos, not games, right? But you know what they say, curiosity killed the cat. So I decided to try out some of these games for myself, and to say the least, they were pretty bad. Most of them were those trash mobile games that you would see in those ads, and one of them was a pretty blatant ripoff of Brawl Stars. Like, come on, at least try to be less obvious than that. And instead of the popular New York Times game Wordle, we have today's hurdle? What? Now, I'm still very confused as to why YouTube decided to do this. Like, there's no way a bunch of Google employees making $100,000 a year got together one day and were like, you know what YouTube needs? Games. Maybe it's because Google wants to get into the gaming industry, like Valve did with Steam. But clearly they didn't learn their lesson with Stadia, which was a colossal failure, by the way. And if they wanted to get into the gaming industry, why on YouTube out of all places? Like, if their goal is to make money, this model clearly isn't it. It's not like whenever you play a game, you have to watch through a 30-second unskippable ad. And in fact, if you really think about it, doing this literally costs YouTube money. Like, obviously it's got to take a decent amount of server space to host all of these games. And it's not like they were the first ones to do this either. In fact, Netflix actually put games on their platform first. But my question is, why? Why did YouTube think this would be a good idea, and which person at YouTube approved this? So digging deeper, it seems like YouTube's decision to host games might not just be a swing at a new revenue stream, but perhaps a way to keep users engaged for longer. Think about it. The longer you stay on YouTube, even if you're playing games, the more likely you are to eventually watch a video. Or 10, and that translates to more ad views, which is where YouTube makes their money. But this would make sense if the games were actually good. Like, sure, the only thing good about them is that there's no ads and they're hosted on the cloud, so you don't have to purchase or download them. But the games in general just are terrible. This Angry Birds one, for example, just cycles through the same maps and also makes you think like you're playing against real players, but in reality, these are just bots. But here's the thing, Google is known for killing a lot of their products, you know, Stadia, Jamboard, Hangouts. In fact, there's so many that there's a website called killedbygoogle.com that literally shows every product or service that Google has killed. And I think that these playables will receive the same fate. YouTube/Google will test them out for a short while, and then they'll probably get killed just like they always do. But this isn't the only weird thing that YouTube has done. See, a couple of months ago, YouTube was testing out a feature where you can filter the videos on your home feed by the color of the thumbnail. I'm not sure why this would be useful, but in the words of Marquez,
I think they're just bored. I think YouTube, if there's one thing that I've learned about YouTube over the years, like, we've actually been privileged enough to get some behind the scenes and like talk to people who work for YouTube. And that is a very, very large ship with very many oars. And yes, Neil is the CEO, but he can like point it in a direction and sort of like steer this big thing. When they're so gigantic, any changes they make are at scale, no matter what they do. So if you have a tiny little change that affects 1% of the users on the site, that affects 100 million people. Like, that's just what happens.
Right.
And so they run these experiments all the time where they're like, we just want to kind of see what would happen if, and they'll run an experiment that's like 0.01% of users. And if it works well, maybe 0.02%. And sometimes it makes it to the whole site.
But the thing is, if the people working at YouTube were bored, why did they choose to do this? Like, they could have, solved a lot of problems with their platform, such as removing the weird ads and paying creators fairly, just to name a few. I've made a full video about this if you want to check it out. So in conclusion, I just wish that YouTube were doing something more useful with their free time, because at the end of the day, no one really cares about filtering videos based on their color, nor do they come to YouTube to play games. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Hey my fellow Ice Cubes, unless you've been living under a rock for the past 2 years, you've most likely heard about Opera from your favorite YouTubers.
Opera's browser.
Big thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video.
Ever think about changing browsers?
Opera GX!
Opera GX.
Opera GX!
Opera GX.
Opera GX.
Thank you, Opera GX.
Opera GX!
For those of you that haven't heard of Opera, it's a web browser that runs on the Chromium engine, a free and open source project developed by Google. In fact, many popular web browsers such as Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge run on Chromium. Opera has been around for over 20 years and used to actually be a pretty popular alternative to Microsoft proprietary Internet Explorer and even rivaled Firefox at the time. But after Google released Chrome in 2008, it was an immediate success, taking most of the browser market share by storm. Today, Opera stands with just 2.5% of the browser market share, and while that may not sound like a lot, this number accounts to over 350 million monthly active users using Opera, which doesn't even account for the 25 million users that use Opera GX, which is kind of like their gaming version of their normal web browser. What does the GX stand for? I don't know. I actually don't know. So in a desperate attempt to save their dying browser, they've decided to completely sell out by sponsoring many large YouTubers. Now, just a quick side note, I have no problem with YouTubers taking sponsorships from other companies. If they want to, they can, and I'm completely fine with it, honestly. But I feel like YouTubers should do a little bit more research about a company before they go ahead and promote it to their audience. Now, what's interesting is that most sponsor advertisements try to get you to pay for some product or service. Whereas with Opera, the browser itself is completely free to download. I mean, you can go to their website and download it right now. So you might be wondering how they can make so much money just to blow it all on advertising. Well, that's the neat part. They make money by selling your data. See, a wise man named John Green once said that if anything is free, then you are the product. The Opera company itself seems to be pretty tame on the surface. They're based in Norway, meaning they have to follow the strict rules set by the EU. That was until they were bought by a Chinese company in 2016 called Kunlun Tech. And because this company falls under the Chinese Communist Party, Opera is forced to share every and any data that they collect directly to their office in China. A YouTuber by the name of Cubic ran a program on his computer to see what requests Opera was sending when opening the browser. And one of those pings happened to be a geolocation website that would get information such as your city, your zip code, even your latitude and longitude coordinates. Not to mention, they heavily promote a free VPN service that's included with the browser. Speaking of VPNs, today's video is sponsored by no one. Absolutely no one. Yeah, nobody's gonna sponsor a YouTuber with 1,000 subscribers. Anyways, if you know how a VPN works, it reroutes your internet traffic to another server rather than your internet service provider. In practice, this usually encrypts your data. However, Opera's VPN seem to just be a proxy that probably has no encryption and logs your data and sends it right back to their headquarters. Not to mention that the browser is closed source, meaning that we can't see what potentially malicious code runs in the background of the browser. Compare this to something like Brave or LibreWolf, which are completely open source. If these browsers were running some malicious code in the background, we would know because we can see the code. Now, all of this may just seem like me overreacting about privacy. Even if you don't care about privacy, it just doesn't seem right for a large corporation to pretend like they have good privacy on their browser when they're clearly trying to hide the shady things that they're doing. Even going as far to making a table on their website that shows how much more private Opera is than Chrome. Like, that isn't biased at all. And for those of you saying that, oh, Google collects a lot of your data as well, and to that I say, you're completely right. But at least Google is open about what data they collect, and at least Google is not saying that Chrome is the most private browser in the world. Actually, maybe they are saying that. Now, Opera isn't just terrible about privacy, but I legitimately think that it's just a bad browser in general. Now, to give some credit, I used to use the browser a couple of months back. It had some nice features, but most of them ended up just being gimmicks that were not really that useful. One of the features that Opera tries to sell you in their Opera GX browser is a CPU and RAM limiter. So I installed it on my Windows laptop to test it out, and it didn't work. No surprises. So I decided to install it on my Mac. Now, if you've ever used macOS before, then you'll know how locked down of an operating system it is. So I'm very skeptical that it will allow some random app to change important system settings to limit CPU and RAM usage. And yeah, it didn't work. In fact, with no tabs open, Brave browser actually ended up using 60 less megabytes of RAM on my Mac. While I agree that Opera is an incredibly shady company with very interesting business practices, it's ultimately your choice if you want to use it. It only takes 5 minutes of research to find out about Opera's privacy issues, and it just sucks to see so many large YouTubers promoting what is potentially spyware. And I don't blame them either. Sometimes people get so hungry for money that they end up resorting to something that hurts their brand in the long run. Although the title says that Opera is YouTube's worst sponsor, I clearly did clickbait a little bit. There are many more worse sponsors such as BetterHelp who scam their users by taking their money and providing absolute dogshit therapy lessons. Soggy Cereal made a really good video about this that I highly recommend watching. Anyway. VPN sponsors are everywhere, from videos to advertisements, even in my ice cubes. They're seemingly inescapable, and all of this makes me wonder, what are these VPN companies hiding, and do you even need a VPN? By the end of this video, I want to try to answer these questions to fully uncover the truth that these VPN companies are hiding. Let's get started.
This
video is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
Today's sponsor, private internet access.
And I'm here to tell you about today's sponsor, ExpressVPN.
Sponsored by CyberGhost VPN.
Just a very quick word from today's sponsor, which is NordVPN.
Longest running partnership is with Surfshark, who are the sponsor of today's video.
Alright, so before we begin, what even is a VPN? Put simply, a VPN is something that makes what you do online more private. Think of a VPN like sending a secret message to one of your friends. However, you don't want anybody to read this message, including the postal company that sends your message. So what you do is you put your message in a box so that it can only be unlocked with this special key that only your friend has access to. This is what's called encryption. Encryption means that any data that is sent can only be read by the VPN company and the actual website receiving the request. Your internet service provider can't read these packets, so it makes it harder for large companies and governments to spy on you, as a request doesn't go through your ISP, but rather another server instead. So now that we know how a VPN works, let's talk about why you should use a VPN in the first place. One practical use case for a VPN could be getting around network restrictions. For example, at my school, people use a VPN called XVPN, which allows people to get around the restrictions that my school places on the school Wi-Fi. Similarly, if a content on a website is region locked, you can use a VPN to trick the website into thinking that the request is coming from another country, giving you access to that content. This is especially useful if you like to do some very illegal things online. Another use case for VPNs could be to block cookies, which are little bits of data that websites store on your computer to make things easier. For example, every time you go to youtube.com, you don't have to log in every time because your browser saves that information on your computer. A lot of VPNs block these cookies, so it makes it harder for websites to identify you. These cookies play a big part of tracking what you do online. In fact, a couple of years ago, the popular online travel agency Orbitz was caught showing higher prices for hotel rooms to Mac users than those who used a Windows computer. So now let's talk about if you can even trust VPN companies. It feels like every time you hear a VPN sponsorship, they're making it seem like not having a VPN is a big security risk and it's almost a necessity to have a VPN.
A VPN is an important tool for keeping your data secure and encrypted on the internet, and I don't dare connect to public Wi-Fi without first enabling my VPN. Whether I'm on my phone or laptop, in an airport or at a cafe, I turn on my protection before connecting to that public Wi-Fi, because you never know who may be snooping around trying to steal your personal data.
This isn't really true, however. While a VPN does significantly increase your privacy and security online, it's not an all-in-one solution. Say for example, you want to watch your favorite show on Netflix, but it's not available in the country that you live in. So you connect to a VPN and go on to Netflix. The problem is that while your IP address can be seen by Netflix, the VPN's IP address can still be seen by Netflix, and they can easily find out that you're connected to a server somewhere in the world rather than a residential network, and can then deny you access to that service. But here's the thing. Free VPNs exist, and while they may be littered with ads and sell all your data to third parties, it just doesn't make sense to pay a monthly subscription for something that just most people don't need. Choosing a VPN provider means putting a lot of trust into a single entity. While a VPN does make it harder for the government and large corporations to spy on you, it's important to mention that VPN companies themselves can also spy on you, as anything that you do is sent directly to their servers. Hey, so it's future me here, and I forgot to put this into the video, but actually Surfshark and NordVPN are owned by the same company, and a couple of years ago they actually merged together. So that means that these VPN companies are making it seem like you're getting a bunch of different options when most of them are owned by just a couple of companies, and this creates kind of a monopoly scenario. Even when you put your trust into these companies, it's not uncommon for them to be hacked, which is something that we have seen before. In 2019, a single NordVPN server in Finland operated by a third-party data center was compromised. This data center failed to properly configure the server, leaving it vulnerable. While there was a security breach, no user data was compromised. However, this incident just goes to show that these VPN companies will always be vulnerable to hackers. I like to note that this incident happened over 5 years ago, and NordVPN's security has probably gotten better since then. One popular VPN that a lot of people use is called Ola VPN. It's got over 6 million downloads on the Chrome web store, offering both a free version and a paid tier. Let's take a look at Ola's privacy policy. In their privacy policy, they state that they will retain your personal information for as long as necessary to provide the service, and as necessary to comply with our legal obligations, resolve disputes, and enforce our policies. Under applicable regulations, we will keep records containing client personal data, account opening documents, communications, and anything else as required by the applicable laws and regulations. That's right, they're allowed to keep your personal information for as long as they want, claiming that it's to comply with legal obligations. However, I highly doubt that this is the case. At the time of me making this video, Linus just dropped a video about how he won't be taking any more VPN sponsorships unless they are fully committed to user privacy. One company that he brings up is called Private Internet Access, who, when asked by the government for user data, they refused because they didn't have any data to share in the first place. These are the types of companies that you should be putting your trust in. So in conclusion, while VPNs are useful, it's not going to be a one-stop solution to online privacy. A lot of these people who buy these VPNs probably got scared or thought having a VPN is necessary. They fail to understand how a VPN works or if they even really need one. And not to mention, these VPN services are subscription based, so people will probably buy thinking that they're going to use it for a month, and then they forget to cancel their subscription before it renews, and this makes the VPN companies a lot of money. Truth be told, if you're using anything like Facebook or Instagram, you should be having way more data privacy concerns, and a VPN won't fix that. YouTube has a big problem. If you've ever taken a look at the comment section of a YouTube video, you've most likely come across a breeding ground for spammers, scammers, and most importantly, bots. Now, this isn't a new thing. Bots have existed for years, since the creation of YouTube, and for years most of them have advertised some crypto scam or some free Robux giveaway link. But see, this is much different. Because YouTube has never cared about their bots on the platform, they've allowed these new bots to seemingly pass under the radar and have been posting some of the most vile things that I've ever seen, such as "first warning, N-word, my content is way better," or "I like hurting animals." Now, what just bewilders me is the fact that YouTube allows this on their platform, but at the same time demonetize the very creators that seemingly just swear in their videos. This really goes to show how little they care about their creators, which is kind of sad, really. So, you know, me being me, I decided to do a little bit of investigation into these comments, because I was like, there's no way that YouTube can just allow the hard R N-word without it being flagged by YouTube's moderation. So what I saw is that whenever I would drag my cursor through the comments, a portion of the text wouldn't get highlighted. So what I did is I would copy everything and then I pasted it somewhere else, and I realized that it was just kind of a jumbled mess. So the bots must be manipulating the text in some way to make it seem backwards, but when the comment is actually posted on YouTube, it looks like normal. Another thing that I noticed with all these comments is that they had a UTTP in their name, with this policeman or officer guy as their profile picture. And at this point, I was like, okay, you know, I really got to do some more research on what this whole UTTP thing is about. And this led me down one of the biggest rabbit holes that I've ever seen. Like, this is something straight out of 4chan. So what even is the UTTP? The UTTP stands for YouTube Troll Police, which is quite ironic considering that their cult is mainly made up of trolls themselves. Their group's only purpose is to spread negativity and hatred towards other creators and attack anyone who just slightly speaks bad about them. One great example of this is when they doxed popular shorts creator Cal Drawings just for simply talking about the UTTP. Also, a lot of UTTP members really like when something bad happens to a YouTuber, like, you know, they were really happy when MatPat quit YouTube or when DanTDM's dog died, which is just kind of messed up, to be honest. The biggest UTTP member goes by the name Emperor Anime Sucks. He has over 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he has a video on his channel with almost 1 million views, which is kind of like the UTTP kind of declaring war on the internet and a bunch of different fandoms. This video is literally the most brain-rotted thing I've ever seen. And I legitimately think that if you gave a kindergartner a computer, they could make something better. And to further solidify the fact that the UTTP is run by a bunch of iPad kids, we have some amazing grammar like the YouTube Troll Police will become victory. And like half of the video is just like blurred out stuff, which makes me believe that, you know, it's a bunch of really racist stuff, so that to prevent the video being taken down, he went into YouTube Studio just to blur everything out. But while you may think that this is harmless, the UTTP gets worse. Like way worse. Now let's say I'm a stupid iPad kid and for some reason I want to learn more about the UTTP and its members. Well, to do that, I have to join a UTTP Discord server. Going back to the video I mentioned earlier, if you look in the pinned comment, there's a Discord link that takes you to the official UTTP Discord. Now do keep in mind, this is not the only UTTP Discord server that exists. There's multiple others, but this is like the most popular one. What's interesting is that in these UTTP Discord servers, there's invite links spammed throughout the channels, which leads me to believe that if one server gets taken down, then they'll have another one to do their nefarious stuff on. What nefarious things am I talking about? Upon joining one of these servers, I was met with a gif of a cat whose head was being, you get what I mean, and literal images of gore. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. You see, when I joined a couple of these servers on my alt account, I was getting hundreds of notifications per day with the ringleaders telling everyone to go spam someone's live stream or DMs with really racist and horrible stuff. I've also heard from other YouTubers that I've watched that these UTTP members possess cheese pizza and also extort young girls to hurt themselves. There is some irony, however. In the official UTTP, you aren't allowed to post this type of content. However, it's important to note that in the official server, there's the only channel that you have access to upon joining is called Spam Box. And if you want to unlock all the channels, you have to become an official UTTP member. But how does one become an official UTTP member? Well, first you have to create an officer by setting this as your profile picture. After that, you have to transfer the ownership of the channel to some random guy's email. From there, I assume that they run these bots that we see all over YouTube. And once doing that, you have full access to the Discord server. If the racist remarks are what they're posting in the public channel, then God knows what disturbing things that they must be posting in the channels locked away from everyone. It's kind of messed up, to be honest. These grown adult men who never got any love as a child are now luring children as young as 12 years old to join their sadistic cult in which they distribute CP, gore, and God knows what else. And now you may be asking, hey Blue Ice, why are they doing this? Well, to answer this question, I got in touch with a high-ranking member in the UTTP Discord who goes by Miami Shoreline to get more insight on the UTTP. So I just wanted to ask, like, what is like the goal of the UTTP? Because, you know, like with the most bot comments on YouTube, like they're like trying to get you to fall for some like crypto scam or like phishing link or something. So like, what is like the purpose of the UTTP?
There's many reasons. For my reason, it's for promotion for my channel. So basically, we spam 24/7, like on a daily basis, and then once we get the views that we want, we can actually just change our entire personality and our entire like, you know, we don't have to basically affiliate with the YouTube troll police, and then we just become a whole new person, and we just make like normal videos without being a YouTube troll police member, since we already had the fame that we already got from all the spams that, you know.
Oh,
and
so
another reason,
so it's just to grow like your channel, right?
Basically, yes, it's all promotion at the end of the day. But sometimes if you want to get into arguments, like I do a lot, yeah, that's one. That's another one.
So like, what do you guys do with the channel? Do you guys sell them or like yeah, what happens like to the channel? Because you know you gain all these subscribers and stuff, and all these views, and so like do you just like sell the channel, or like you try to grow a new audience, or like what happens?
For me, I'll try to expand my channel. Just change everything about me. Make better content, and yeah, just do my own thing, you know.
It really shocks me that people will go to these efforts to grow their channels. Like, all YouTube needs to do is to ban the word UTTP. That's all they have to do. And while I know this isn't like a permanent solution, it's kind of like putting a band-aid on a gunshot wound, it at least stops the bots temporarily, and it shows that YouTube is taking some kind of action against these bots. If YouTube doesn't do anything about this, then they are letting underground criminal organizations to operate on their platform. I hate the UTTP with every fiber in my body, and it seems like others agree with me as well. In fact, I'll read some comments from the video I mentioned earlier to kind of end this video on a lighter note. This is what happens when a mother smokes during her pregnancy. Dad, what did you do on social media? Oh son, I spammed racial slurs and I said I abuse animals in the reply section. Fun fact, this video is secretly a condom ad. Even Hitler got ashamed after seeing this guy. Again, if you see any of these horrible and nasty comments in the comment section, please just report them and ignore them. Do not reply to them and do not give them any attention, because that's literally all they're seeking. People will oftentimes say that growing on YouTube is incredibly hard. Well, it's not hard if you start a commentary channel. Okay, that was a joke, but anyways, it's obvious that the commentary niche is one of the biggest niches on YouTube. On one hand, we have some amazing commentary channels like Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers, or Charlie or Moist Critical. But on the other hand, we have these incredibly low effort channels that just pump out this extremely lazy content in order to use drama for their own benefits. In this video, I want to share some of my gripes with the commentary community, bringing up some channels as an example, and addressing this overall big problem on YouTube. Now you might be asking yourself like, wait, hey Blue Ice, aren't you a commentary channel as well? And yes, I would consider myself to be a commentary channel. So then why am I making a video about the problem with commentary channels? Well, that's because my videos are more or less video essays with proper research and scripts behind them. I genuinely enjoy making these videos because I love seeing this community that we have grow, which can't exactly be said for the type of creators that I'll be talking about in this video. So I think that there's a fine line between the commentary videos that I make and the commentary videos that the channels that I'll be discussing make. Alright, so first of all, we can't talk about commentary channels without talking about Sunny V2, who is the biggest player in the commentary niche. Whatever Sunny does, essentially everyone else just copies him. While I know Sunny has had his fair share of controversies in the past, that's not what I want to cover in this video. Sunny V2's entire brand identity is just making videos about people's downfalls. Sometimes he somehow finds a way to turn some random drama on Twitter into a 12-minute video essay, and sometimes his videos are stretched out with things that aren't even relevant to the video at all. And not to mention, this guy speaks at literally 0.5 times speed.
If Heaven was hosting a party for legends, then these 10 YouTubers would all be invited. Supplying the vodka would definitely be aperture.
I mean, if you think about it, he is literally the definition of a content farm. If you want to learn more about Sunny V2's content farm, then I highly recommend watching Pine Lee's video about it. Anyways, back to Sunny V2. Around 2 months ago, he made a video titled Dream's Career Has 12 Months Left. That's right, this guy put a death date on Dream's career. I watched through this whole video and it was essentially just Sunny saying that because Dream showed his face and because he had a bad music career, that his entire Minecraft YouTube career is going to be over just because he doesn't get that many views anymore. I mean, sure, in some context this could make sense, but I feel like he just totally ignored the fact that Dream himself hasn't uploaded a Minecraft video in around 8 months. And he can't just keep making the same manhunt video over and over again, because people will eventually and probably have already gotten bored of that style of content. And I find it funny that people say that his career is over, because no, he still averages like 1 million views a video. Somebody like me would kill for that many views. And I mean, this kind of negativity really impacts someone's reputation. At the time where all of the Dream allegations were starting to, you know, become more known, all of the commentary channels just decided to go on to this topic, and the problem was that they had no evidence, no backup, no reasoning to prove that he was a PDF file. All there was some fake screenshots on Twitter that Dream quickly proved that they were taken out of context. Oh, and I'd like to mention, when all the commentary videos were making videos about Dream hadn't even responded yet. Because of all of this backlash from the commentary channels, Dream's reputation became so bad that when he eventually did make a response video, a lot of people just didn't want to take his side because the damage had already been done. Now, obviously, I don't think that commentary channels alone ruined Dream's reputation. I think he always just kind of had this negative stigma around him, especially after he cheated on his speedruns. What's worse is that Sunny V2's success has inspired others to go down the same route. In this section of the video, I want to talk about the Sunny V2 clones. Now, to give some credit, Sunny has this very interesting and very unique editing and thumbnail style that's inspired me and many more creators. But others have just simply decided to completely rip his style in an effort to milk drama for the sake of some views. A couple of days ago, someone sent me this video from a channel called Adrox. The video was titled, "This video will make you hate Chris Tyson." Now, I was a little bit intrigued because I haven't heard much about Chris from Mr. Beast, especially after he became trans a little over a year ago. So I watched through this whole video, and what I learned was that essentially just Chris made some weird tweets literally like 7 years ago in response to some guy who drew illegal art of minors, let's just say. Now, I understand what Chris allegedly did, what is pretty weird, and that's not what I want to talk about. Look at the thumbnail for this video. If someone was just looking at this, they would get the false impression that Chris did something bad to a 14-year-old. This is not the case. Yes, he made some weird tweets about a character in a movie, but I feel like there was no reason at all to make the packaging of this thumbnail so incredibly rage bait. Also, look at this point in the video.
That I am not hating or accusing anyone. This is purely for educational purposes.
I mean, this guy cannot be serious right now. He literally titled the video, "This video will make you hate Chris Tyson." And I'm not defending Chris here or anything, but guys, understand that these tweets were made 7 years ago, back when making edgy jokes and stuff like this was normalized. I mean, Mr. Beast himself would make these kind of jokes all the time.
I dare you to say something controversial. Chris, I was thinking about robbing a store.
You can't do that. You'll get shot, Jimmy.
I'm white.
Oh yeah.
So it's not out of the question that his best friend would do the same. Like, you guys remember the saying, innocent until proven guilty? Well, I feel like it's the exact opposite on the internet. It's guilty until proven innocent. People are way too quick to point fingers at someone because of something that someone allegedly did. I feel like people should wait for more evidence to come out about this situation, or even Mr. Beast or Chris to formally respond themselves. Now, the one thing that Sunny V2 and his clones have going for him is that they have great editing, which can't exactly be said for the next type of channels I want to talk about, the low effort drama farms. A couple of weeks ago, a popular shorts creator, The Manny Show, filed a copyright strike against a YouTuber who goes by Anguine. Because of this, lots of commentary channels decided to hop on the Manny Show hate train and just started making fun of his content. Manny made a response video a couple of weeks later claiming that the copyright strikes weren't filed by him, but another person that he had hired to handle monetization for him. A lot of commentary channels also claim that Manny just steals content, which is debatable, but to Manny's credit, he did give a pretty good response, claiming that YouTube Shorts and TikTok have an audio remixing feature that allows you to use somebody else's audio in your video. It's also really hypocritical for some commentary channels to say that Manny steals content, because I mean, for example, this YouTuber named Poncho literally made a response video to Manny's response video. I watched through Poncho's video, in which is just Manny's response video with some cuts between for his commentary, in which he just adds a joke or two in between, or maybe says a sentence that's not really important for the context of the video at all. I mean, this Poncho guy literally took Manny's 6-minute apology video and turned it into an 8-minute commentary video. 75% of the guy's video is not even his own content. When there is less commentary than the video that the person is reacting to, that's a problem. If I wanted to watch Manny's response video, I would go see Manny's apology video. This is not commentary. This is just using other people's content for your own benefit. And what's even more crazy is that this video is exactly 8 minutes and 1 second long, just for that ad revenue. I don't know if it's coincident or not, but it seems pretty sus. You might disagree with me here, and I completely understand that, but in my opinion, if you react to a 6-minute video, then I think it's only fair for you to add 6 minutes of commentary, and if you can't provide that, then you shouldn't make the video at all, because then you're not adding anything new to the video. So do you guys get what I mean? These YouTubers use whatever situation that is trending on YouTube or Twitter, whether that be good or bad, to spin out a commentary video, in which most of the time they try to use these situations for views until it's literally milked dry. I mean, how come these commentary channels get to call out creators all the time, but no one is calling the commentary channels themselves out? And the thing with most of these commentary channels, they mainly have one-sided opinions. Like I said before, one thing I noticed with these commentary channels is that they'll usually say something like really rage baity or something really crazy on the thumbnail just to get people to click. At least if you're gonna make a video about drama, wait for all parties in the drama to respond before you go ahead and make a video exposing someone. It seems like all of these channels just want to make commentary videos as soon as the latest drama comes out, and that comes at the cost of the lack of credibility and research in their videos. You'll notice that whenever there's drama going on, YouTubers like Moist Critical don't ever take sides. They cover the drama in an unbiased and neutral way, add some of their humor to it, and that's basically it. They don't start drama, they only cover the drama that's going on. And even when someone like Charlie says something wrong in his videos, he admits it and he owns up to his mistake, something that we don't see a lot of content creators doing.
I've been very consistent with that from the very beginning. When I make a video about something, it's usually just for the sake of making jokes or being goofy about it, so I never really want whatever I'm talking about to be taken in a personal level or as anything like that. Though that does vary on a case-to-case basis depending on how serious the topic is, because I've absolutely crossed over the line in making things much more personal than they probably should. But usually I try and just keep it more surface stuff about why something is bad or whatever happened, whatever they did is stupid or whatever.
I have to give credit where credit is due. He is doing something different than what most other commentary channels are doing. And that's the thing. Creators like Charlie or Mudahar care about the thing that they're doing. They have the passion for it. They're not trying to get quick views or quick money because they already have the money. They don't need it more. They just make fun content that they think that their viewers will enjoy, and that's what kind of differentiates them from the lazy soulless commentary farms that we see all over YouTube. You know, I think we've seen a pattern with all of these commentary videos. In fact, let me teach you guys how to be a commentary YouTuber. Welcome to Commentary 101. I'm your host, and I will be teaching you all how to start your first commentary channel and start making some commentary videos. Alright, let's start with idea. So a lot of people say that ideas are the most important part of the video. Well, not in our case because no part of the video is important. So anyways, yeah, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go on Twitter. Sorry, I can't. You're gonna go on Twitter, okay? And you're gonna look for any of the latest drama that's going on. If you can't find anything on Twitter, just copy what other commentary channels are doing. So you can also go on YouTube, and then you can just copy. So what you want to do is you want to go to Twitter if you want to find drama, or go on YouTube if you want to react to something. And if you can't do that, just copy somebody else's video idea and you should be golden. Now we need to talk about recording. Sorry for my terrible handwriting, but we're working with what we got. So what you want to do is you want to fill your commentary video with as much irrelevant information as possible. So I'm going to say irrelevant. So yeah, we're gonna have as much irrelevant information in our video as possible. And then if you're, and then what you want to do is you want to stretch
out the video to 8 minutes.
Sorry for my terrible handwriting, but yeah, well, you want to stretch out the video to 8 minutes, because if we get the video to 8 minutes, we can actually get ad revenue. We can get more mid-roll ads, and that will actually be really, really good. For money, yeah. And then also, what you want to do is you want to add some really unfunny jokes, right? So this will make it so that people will think that you're a really funny person, and you add some really insightful commentary, when in reality, you're not really doing anything. Okay, now we're on to editing. So, I mean, editing, it doesn't really matter because we're not trying to become like the next Mr. Beast or the next Magnates Media. We don't really care about editing our videos too much. So what you want to do is you want to record yourself playing a game. So this can be any game. This can be, you know, Minecraft parkour gameplay. This can be, you know, Counter-Strike. Even Subway Surfers could work. If your viewers have really low attention spans, but you want to just record yourself playing a game. And then what you want to do is you want to, now if you can't record a game, obviously, what you're going to do is you're going to, you can go on YouTube if you don't want to record your own gameplay. Finally, we got to talk about like arguably the most important thing, and that is our thumbnail. So what you want to do is you want to have the person's face, whoever you're talking about. So we're going to talk about, so I'm going to say right here, face. And then we want to have some, you know, text next to their face. So we're going to have something really, you know, rage bait. Or if you can't do that, just do with this good old clickbait. To do this, what you want to do is you want to have, so this, let's say this is our thumbnail. That's a terrible rectangle, but just imagine this is a thumbnail. We have the person's face right here. We have their person's face, and then we want to say like something like exposed is a good one. You know, pathetic is a good one. Just want to have something really, really rage-baiting next to their name. Now, once you've done all that, you should have a commentary video that looks something like this. So just recently, some new allegations came up on Twitter. These are completely real Discord messages. So apparently this Blue Ice guy got exposed for liking CP. Obviously, we all know that CP stands for cheese pizza. but I'm not really sure in which person in their right mind likes cheese pizza. I mean, that's literally like the most boring type of pizza. Like, this dude doesn't like pineapple on pizza, he just likes plain cheese pizza. I mean, as you can tell right here by this really real screenshot, it's just disgusting. I mean, what he said is just disgusting. Cheese pizza is insane. Like, this guy is a very weird individual. I think he should be canceled. He should not have a platform. Anyways, guys, I'm just gonna record the outro while we're here. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe if you found it interesting. Many sleepless nights and many hours went into editing this video, as you can see the timeline right here. I just hope that, you know, people watch it and people understand that we should not support these types of dumb channels. But yeah, as for me, I've got school starting in a couple of weeks, so I might not be able to upload as much as I want, but that's completely fine. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon.